Welcome to Vegan Finds, where we're going to turn this into this vegan haggis and cheesy mashed potatoes. Stick around, we'll show you how easy it is to make. Okay, folks, so we are making vegan haggis. I know what you're thinking. Sounds crazy, sounds disgusting. But it's vegan, so how bad could it be? Gotta be a lot better than eating all sorts of funky animal parts, that much I can tell you. And just for those of you who aren't familiar with what haggis is, but haggis is, I think it's a Scottish dish where they basically take the offal of an animal and stick it inside a sheep's stomach and boil it till it stinks like, yes, like 3-week-old dirty underwear. At least that's how it's been described to me. I don't know. That's not really true. I've had fake haggis before in my meat eating days. Not true haggis. Wasn't actually that terrible, but the ingredients, there are quite a few in this dish. But don't get overwhelmed. There's not a lot of chopping to do. There's not a lot of real work to do other than we've got some sunflower seeds here and some pumpkin seeds that we're going to toast these up and then grind, basically turn them into powder. We got some oats here, some lentils. Normally I would use red lentils, but all I have are these tiny green lentils. That'll work. We got a turnip, we got some mushrooms, we got 2 carrots. I got a purple carrot and a white carrot. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. And just some other basically herbs and spices. We're going to add some allspice, some nutmeg. Oh, and kidney beans. That's going to be another basis. And then we're going to pop it into a loaf pan and bake it for basically 45 minutes or till it's done. Let me rephrase that. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to toast our sunflower seeds, and we're going to do this in a dry pan right now. Okay, so I've turned on my pan. I'm going to add my sunflower seeds and my pumpkin seeds, and while that's toasting, I'm going to start chopping up our other ingredients now. So I shall keep an eye on what I'm doing, as well as chop away. So you just want to be able to kind of smell them. It pays to kind of spread them out, so that way you get more surface area, get them cleaned up real quick. I'm not peeling my carrots. I did wash them. And the reason I don't like to, I really, especially in dishes like where it's not you're not worrying about presentation, I like to leave the skins on because, quite frankly, a lot of vitamins in there. Why are you going to throw out nutrition? So I'm going to basically chop our carrots into some small dice. I'm just going to show you this carrot because it's really super cool. If you have never seen one of these before, look at that color. I mean, that's just outstanding. And plus, it gives you a different, kind of a different mineral and vitamin profile than if you just went with the plain orange carrots. So you're getting some different kind of vitamins in there, which is obviously good for you. Alright. My dog knows I'm cutting up carrots, so he's very interested in what is going on here. He's got a nose for when we're cooking stuff here, and you can hear it popping. It means it's toasting up. Yep, it's starting to turn a little bit in color. It's what we want. starting to smell good. Alright. You just want to keep them moving. Alright, they are just about done. I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to get my little dish, pop it right back into the... I don't know what I did with my dish. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to start toasting up our oats here. Same kind of situation. We just want them to toast up lightly. There's nothing spectacular or special about this. We're just toasting. And I've already mostly ground up our stuff into a powder, and I'm turning our little carrots into dice right now. And what can I help you with, my lovely wife? Sorry. So, you just kind of want to keep it moving, and it's till you just kind of get that toasty, oaty smell. That's what you're looking for here.
Toasty, oaty smell?
Yeah, toasty, oaty. Toastios, like, you know.
What's a toastio?
I don't know. I'm making stuff up as I go along.
It smells like oatmeal burning.
You smell that?
Yeah.
It's not quite burning.
Have the lid.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna keep chopping our little carrots here. Get to that turnip next. Turnip's a tough customer. Thankfully we found the purple turnip as opposed to the wax turnip. Although I think that's a rutabaga, even though they call them turnips here. Pretty sure that's a rutabaga. Alright. They're starting to toast. They should just slightly turn color. That's basically what you want, is just it to get a little fragrance to them. I gotta measure out my carrot. I don't like it when I gotta measure things out. But you do what you gotta do. So this will be ready in just a few more minutes, not even, a couple more seconds. I'm gonna do that. Can you just hit the this in there, like 2 more pulses for me? Thank you. All right, that's definitely, that's 20. Thank you. All right, so the oats are now done. I'm just going to show you what the ground up sunflower, and you can see it's powder. You don't want to do this in like a food processor. A coffee grinder would be better because you don't want it to turn into like a nut paste. So you got to pulse it, just like they used to do in Pilates there. Pulse it. Okay, we got our carrots just about ready. Gonna move this off the pan and start the next step. Oh, don't know what I'm doing here. All right, woo, pan's hot, pan's hot. Always have to have a little handy dandy thing with you. Yeah, don't do this at home. I don't want somebody telling me they burnt their finger because they touched a hot pan. Alright. I gotta find something to do. Alright, this is good. Alright, so we got our oats. They're all set, ready to go. And it's on to the next thing. Okay, so in my pan I've got about 2 tablespoons of vegan butter melting, and I'm going to be adding a 1/4 teaspoon, whoop, I got way more than a quarter there, of asafoetida. If you're not familiar with it, it's an Indian spice. It's described as devil's dung. It's got a very, we'll call it, noticeably pungent odor. So we're going to just want to cook this a little bit to kind of, it's called tempering when you do this in Indian cooking, and you cook spices in either butter or oil to kind of release their fragrances. So we're going to just temper that for a minute or two, and then we're going to add our chopped veggies. So I'm just going to spread this out. Alright. Ah, it's really something about the smell. Once it cooks. Raw, not so great. Cooked, really good. Okay, so I got my carrots in there, the 2 different colored kind. I'm going to add my turnips in as well. And you want to use a pan with a lid, because it's going to have to cover and cook, because it's going to have to soften quite a bit. We're also going to be adding veggie stock to this, so get out a good carton worth of veggie stock, or if you have your own, we're going to need about 700 milliliters. 650 to 700. I always like to have a little bit extra just in case something looks a little bit dry. So while this is softening up, I'm going to start chopping up my mushrooms here. Pieces about the same size, you know. I do haggis traditionally is made with a lot of different pieces, a lot of different parts, so it's not going to all be the same nice neat thing. Quite the opposite. Kind of looks like a bomb went off. Almost there with the mushrooms. Throw those in. My dog is there to catch any crumbs. Not the mushrooms, thank God, but the carrots and the turnips that have fallen on the floor. He's very handy at that. God forbid you should leave any cauliflower on the counter that he can reach. He will do it. It's not a tall dog, but somehow he has found a way. Pretty sure he would go in the cabinets at night if he could. The last mushroom to go. And come on, don't be shy. All right. So now I'm going to get the lid, I'm going to put that on top. We're going to cook this for 5 minutes. While that's happening, I'm going to take my kidney beans, drain them. I'm using organic kidney beans from ShopRite. I'm going to drain them, and then I'm going to chop them up, and I'm going to add them into the pan as well. Okay, this is getting a little steamy here, so I'm going to add our kidney beans now to this. These have been roughly chopped. It's 1 can. organic kidney beans. Now, if you don't want to use organic, that's fine. They were on sale. So we're going to put the lid back on this once again. We're going to get out our other spices. Add a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. That's 1/4. I'm just going to, there we go. I'm going to add some salt. So we're going to add a teaspoon of salt to this. Black pepper as well. Okay, so I added my black pepper. Now I'm adding the ground seeds. That's the sunflower and the pumpkin seeds, in case you've forgotten. We're going to stir that up, cover it, let it cook for a minute or two. It smells really good. It really smells good. Okay, so I forgot to turn the camera on. So what I just did was I added a half a teaspoon of allspice. Then I added the lentils and the oats, and we're going to keep the lid on for just 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to start adding our veggie stock. Okay, so I'm going to start adding our, I'm actually going to use some no beef broth. I'm going to just incorporate this in stages. Just a little bit more. I think we're good. And now we're just going to cook this with the lid on for 10 minutes. The oats and the lentils should start to absorb some of this liquid, so it should be nice and thick and luscious. So I'll be back when this is done. Okay, so our haggis is now ready to be put into our loaf pan. I'm using, I don't know what, I'm using a silicone loaf pan like this. We're just gonna pour it right in. I'm gonna try. You can see it fills the loaf pan just right. Now you want to press this down a little bit as you're filling it to make sure there are no air bubbles or in there. And I usually just give it a good tap to make doubly sure. I'm popping this in the oven for 45 minutes. It'll be 45 to 55 minutes. I'm going to look at it in 45. Hopefully it'll be done. The oven's set at 350. It's going in right now. And I'll be back to show you the rest of the meal. Okay, so while our haggis is cooking, I boiled up some potatoes. And I'm going to make one of our favorites, which is a cheese-laced mashed potato. Obviously, we're using vegan cheese. What kind of cheese are we using, my dear?
It's Miyoko's.
Miyoko's what?
Buttery cream hash. No, hold on. It's.
This is what happens when you throw out the label.
Yeah, I know. It's double cream classic chive.
Double cream classic chive.
This is what the packets are called.
And what we used to do for Thanksgiving is we would buy this Cotswold cheddar that had chive in it.
Oh, so good.
And we would add it to mashed potatoes, and people would just go berserk because they had no idea what was in it, and we wouldn't tell them because first of all, the Cotswold cheese is like, I don't know, $16 a pound, and
most expensive potatoes on the planet Earth.
And we would have to put like 2 pounds of cheese in it. So I'm gonna just get a paper towel. I'm gonna start taking the skins off of this, and once I do that, I will show you how to make these because they're super easy and they're going to be super delicious. And by the time I'm done mashing them, the haggis will be done cooking. Okay, so I got my potatoes peeled. I'm going to just start to mash them a little bit, just to break up the big pieces here. Now I'm going to start adding in our cheese. Ooh. It's so warm because we have the oven on. The cheese is kind of already melting quite a bit. We're just gonna use the whole lot. If I have to add more potato, I got some more potatoes on the side, but I don't think so. That's basically it. So when you're making mashed potatoes, I never ever peel them or cut them up. It's just extra time that you're, wasting when you could just be throwing them in there in the pot. So I got a little skin in there. Ooh, tasty. Definitely going to need some vegan butter and a little bit of cream to smooth this out. Now this is a pretty tangy cheese, but it's tasty, very tasty. I'm going to add a bit of, what is this? We're using a combo coconut and almond creamer here. Vegan half and half, if you will. Going to add a little bit more, and then I'm going to add some butter. That's vegan butter. A nice dollop of butter.
I just realized the baby got a haircut. Oh.
Ignore the ambient sounds. I definitely think this needs some salt. Dor, you want to?
Let me taste it.
We're going to get our official mashed potato taster.
Because I'm the one who usually makes the mashed potatoes. It
Right.
definitely needs more cream.
I know that.
I don't think it needs. Whoa.
It got a bit of that tang there, right?
Wow. I don't think it needs more cream, more salt. Because whoa. But I definitely think it needs more cream.
All right. So you just keep adding till you get to the consistency that you like. I mean, to me this looks good, but I know that Doris likes hers a bit smoother, a bit creamier. My arm's getting tired.
You want me to take over?
Red Rover, let Doris take over. I think you're ready. So we'll be back to show you the final product momentarily. Okay, so our haggis has been cooking for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. It's definitely done. It's a little bit nice and crispy on top. And we're just going to let this sit for, what do you say, like no minutes? I'm just going to flip it over, see what happens.
I say flip it.
All right.
Flip it.
She says flip it. I'm going to flip it. This thing is hot. I probably should, since it just came out of the oven. I mean.
You want me to flip it?
No. I got it. All right. 1, 2. Uh-oh.
You can't get it.
Oh, there we go. I feel it. I feel it in my fingers. Oh! Look at that.
Now you let it rest.
That is a steaming
Before you try to cut it.
pile of haggis right there. So we're going to let this cool off just a little bit. And we're going to cut it. And we'll show you what it looks like on the plate. Okay, so there you have it. We got our vegan haggis and mashed potatoes with cheese. If you like these recipes, please
hit the subscribe. Leave a comment down below.
Click the notification bell. Share with your friends. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. And follow us on TikTok. Enjoy. Be healthy. And we'll be back with more great recipes.